first one is going to be Teferi, Master of Time. It's going to be 2 blue, 2 colorless. Its static effect is you may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi, Master of Time on any player's turn anytime you could cast an instant. Its +1 is draw a card, then discard a card. Its -3 is target creature you don't control phases out. And its -10 is take 2 extra turns after this one. And it has 3 loyalty to start with. I don't know. It seems like it could be good, but I don't think that it's going to quite get there.
I don't think it's good either. I'm glad you said that because I really don't think it's that great.
Yeah. This is the first balanced Teferi we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that it might finally be balanced.
Yeah.
But I think it's unbalanced. I don't think it's good. I think it's not going to see play at all.
I mean, it's not broken, which is kind of the barrier you have to be for planeswalkers nowadays.
True. That's true.
Balanced means it's bad.
But I don't know, because I think the Liliana is like balanced. Well, we'll get to her later. But I'm saying like this card I think is bad. But I think Liliana, once we get to her, is balanced.
Yeah, I mean, I could see blue-white, straight up blue-white playing this, but it's almost like a win more because if you're
it is a win more. It's exactly
10,
what it is.
You're already like, you're already in control. You're already doing your thing, and you're just looting a few turns, like a few times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about what phasing does? Just
go ahead.
Do you want to do it? You're the.
I think it just basically exiles it.
Yeah, but
and then it comes back in at the untapped or the upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't trigger any effects of leaving or anything. It just kind of just disappears for a turn and then comes back.
Yeah.
It's treated as though it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the limit. So.
Yeah, but I think this card is bad. I don't think it's going to see any play personally.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Which is good because we've had too many dope Teferis.
Yeah, I'm really tired of it, honestly. And I play Teferi in a lot of the decks I play.
Yeah, I've played Teferi.
The next one is going to be Discontinuity. Right? Did I say that right?
Yep. Discontinuity.
Yeah,
discontinuity.
Discontinuity.
All right, I guess I'll continue with my dissing. All right. So it's going to be 3 blue and 3 colorless, an incident that says, as long as it's your turn, this spell costs 2 blue and 2 regular mana to cast. Generic.
Less to cast.
Less, sorry. And in the turn.
So it only costs 2 mana if it's your turn.
Yeah, if you just get really bored of doing game actions on your turn, you can just stop.
Dude, broken.
No.
Yeah. But this is pretty much an instant spell take an extra turn.
Yeah, but for a lot.
That never stopped what is it called, Nexus of Fate from seeing play, but
the difference is though is that Nexus of Fate comes back. You know what I mean?
Shuffled in and you're
I
mean, someone's gonna try this again too.
For sure.
Like Fog and I don't know if Fog's in the set or in standard, but there's gonna be the Revitalize and they're gonna win with Teferi and taking turns and blah blah blah. Like people are gonna try it.
The thing is couldn't this be like a decent spell in Team of Rec or no?
I mean, I get like this is literally just what is that card? The old card called where it just exiled everything from the stack.
I don't remember.
It was the 4 mana spell in the Eldrazi, like when
Summary
was
Dismissal.
played. Yeah,
but that's a counter spell.
This is the same thing though.
Oh, you're right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like it can be, you know what I mean? Like,
but on your turn, it only casts 2 mana. So it's also on your turn. It's like a negate. But I guess it also ends your turn.
So it's the negate that ends the turn.
Maybe like
this is a hard one to really.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be played with to see, because like I can't imagine maybe like stopping some sort of removal, right? So like
or just taking an extra turn, like on their turn, you're just like nah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about using it for 2 mana instead, like
right.
Well, this will have to be played with planeswalkers because it's the only way this makes sense is if you're ending their turn so that you can do your turn and activate planeswalkers and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's literally just like draw a card, like the cantrippy draw a card kind of thing.
Right.
But that's every take an extra turn effect.
Sure, but that's the best way to use it is when you have planeswalkers and ways to get more value than just like, okay, it's my turn and I'll attack you for 6 or whatever. Like that doesn't really do very much.
Well, I don't know. And tax him for 6.
All right.
I mean,
My Euro discontinuity combo deck.
I'm saying if this card does see play, I think it'll be in Team or Rec, but I don't think it's. I just don't know what you cut for this card and if it's powerful enough.
Yeah, I mean the problem is there's just so many ramp cards in Standard right now. 6 mana is just not that hard to get to.
Yeah, so it's possible. This card's.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll see. I think this is. I don't think we can say this one's good or bad right now. It's to be seen.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So the next one is going to be Baron Tolarian Archmage. 2 blue, 1 generic mana. It's a legendary creature that's a wizard that says when Baron Tolarian Archmage enters the battlefield, return up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker to its ownership. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Return all the creatures.
The creatures. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card.
This is a really good creature. I'm really into it.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I actually really do like this card.
Yeah, this card is great. It's going to be Reflector Mage all over again.
Yeah, honestly, it really is.
That's balanced, I think.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit more balanced than Reflector Mage.
I mean, I've seen posts on Twitter with this and Thassa, and that seems pretty gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that sounds that creature sounds really sure that we are going to, draw a lot of cards or just bounce them. So. I think.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think it's just like a. I mean, it would need the right shell, but yeah, with Thassa is definitely a good combo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Easy.
Cool.
All right. Next one is going to be Ghostly Pilferer. It's 1 blue, 1 generic, a spirit rogue. It says whenever Ghostly Pilferer becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. If you discard a card, the Ghostly Pilferer cannot be blocked this turn. I think this one is another one that just needs the right shell.
Yeah, it does a lot. It does a lot of things, which is good. And having a discard outlet where you can just discard whatever cards you want is also pretty decent.
Right. Yeah. So.
And then it can draw you cards too. So I think this card does a lot. This is just one that, like you said, needs the right shell. So
yeah. Maybe someone's gonna try a mono blue deck with like this and Spectral Sailor and things like that.
Right. Yeah, and the Baron that creature.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Mono blue creatures.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Cool. We'll see. It's a rogue, so it kind of goes with that 1 black rogue. You know what I'm talking
about? Are you talking about the energy one?
No, there's like a new black rogue that whenever a rogue enters the battlefield, each opponent mills 2 cards, and as long as they have 8 cards in the graveyard, it gets +2/+1.
Oh, and
it's like 1 mana. Yeah. No, it doesn't have Death Touch. It has Flash.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. Next card is Pursed Whale.
Yes, dude. You need the giant blue unplayable in every set.
So it's going to be 5 mana with
required
2 blues. Whenever it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 pirate creature token with this creature cannot block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. Spells your opponents cast that target Pursed Whale costs 3 more to cast.
I'm telling you. You can't have a set without a giant blue unplayable creature.
Dude.
It's just a fact.
I'm playing this in Commander with blue-white. I play this on my turn, and then
I would play all these cards in Commander.
Yeah. I play anything in Commander, dude.
Settle the wreckage, dude. They all have to attack. Let's go.
That's perfect. You get so many lands.
All right, so this is unplayable.
I think this goes without saying this card is bad.
All right, cool. Next one is going to be See the Truth. I'm really excited about this card, kind of. It's a blue and 1 generic mana. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If this spell was cast from those anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand instead. The bad part about this card is it's a sorcery, right?
So it's a sorcery, speed, anticipate. But if it was cast from anywhere other than your hand, you put all 3 cards into your hand instead of just picking one.
Yeah.
Unplayable.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes. What card is going to let you play this from not your hand?
Yeah, maybe in Standard it's unplayable. What about in Pioneer or Modern?
Again, what card is going to let you play this from not your hand?
Oh, you're right. Snapcaster doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You're gonna Snapcaster See the Truth to draw 3 cards?
Why, dude? Why not? Are you kidding me?
Well, because
are you serious or are you joking?
I can Bolt, Snap, Bolt for the same amount of mana.
Yeah, but what if they're not at 6 life? Then that does nothing.
I mean, Bolt Snap Bolt
Well,
is
then-
not a good comparison. I'm just saying, See the Truth is so bad the first half.
But the thing is, here's my thing is like the thing that I like about it is that it's like if you are playing it in some shell where you can cast instants and sorceries from your graveyard, it's versatile. Like you don't have to do that. You can also just use it as an
Right.
anticipate.
I mean,
But like
maybe-
Anticipate is bad. Anticipate is not even played.
In standard,
Right.
yeah. Well, or modern, I guess you're right.
Or Modern. So if you're playing a bad Anticipate just to like combo them with Snapcaster Mage, then it's just
yeah, like even if you're trying to like do cute things with like Bloodbraid Elf, like
Oh, I like that.
yeah, I don't see. I don't, yeah, I don't
Team or
see-
mid range.
there you go.
There you go.
Why cascade into Ancestral Visions when I can just cascade into this card?
Because you
Yeah.
can't cast Ancestral Visions for 2 mana to
You can
anticipate.
suspend it on turn 1 and actually get a good card in your deck.
Yeah, but then you
Nah,
have
dude.
to wait. God.
Yeah, screw waiting. I want to
Yeah.
cast this on turn 2 and look at some cards.
All right.
All right, we'll
I'll
see.
just say if someone casts this card against me in Modern, I am over the moon.
Yeah, like it's not even going to see like why would you ever cast this in Storm even if you can cast it for one less? Like
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But we'll see, dude. We'll see. We'll see the truth.
Right?
oh my
there you
god.
go.
Dude. All right.
We'll see the truth eventually.
All right, that's
It
the end of
is,
the
it.
show. Thank you everybody. Gabe, get out of here. No, not really. We're going to keep going. The next one is another Spirit Shacklegeist for 1 colorless and 1 blue mana. It has flying, and it says that Shacklegeist can only block creatures with flying, and then you tap 2 untapped spirits you control, and you can tap a target creature you don't control. How do you guys feel about this?
I think it'd be good in spirits.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the only thing that this card needs to do is have Flash to be really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
right.
The problem with Spirits is like it just doesn't hit that hard. So if they're
Right.
doing this on their turn 2 and like in Standard, there's just not a good Spirit
Right.
deck, right?
Yeah,
No, in standard, definitely not.
But in Pioneer, they have like Nimblegas Herald, which is the same thing,
right.
basically.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, you're kind of right.
I think the only way that this is like super good is if like you're casting Collect the Company and you hit this card on your end step and you tap this one and the other one you get to tap something else and then untap, then
But
cast
then
something else.
Even then,
yeah,
it's just worse Nimblegas Herald.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying.
I think it'd be good as like maybe a 1 of or a 2 of, and to play like a long game. You know what I mean? Where you kind of deal with their creatures and get in with your own. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that great, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's
like,
gonna see play, it's only gonna be in spirits. That's the only time I see this
Yeah,
card see
oh,
play.
for sure. But
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like in a board stall too, right? Because like they have 3 creatures you can't attack through. Your creature, you have 6 creatures that are just smaller than theirs. Then
I mean, if they have 3 and you have 6 and you're not winning, then
yeah. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
the Wombo combo.
Look, man, I'm trying to.
I can tap all 6 of my unplayable creatures to tap your 3 good ones.
Yeah, dude. Then my creatures can't attack after they're tapped.
I'm just trying to give it hope. Okay.
I'm trying to give it credit, but it doesn't need credit.
All right.
Tackle Geist lives on his own rules.
Next card, Stormwing Entity. It's 3 colorless, 2 blue. It says that this spell costs 1 blue and 2 generic mana less to cast if you cast and enter a sorcery spell this turn. It has flying prowess, and you scry 2 when it enters the battlefield, and it's a 3/3. I think this card is nuts.
What do you think, Gabe?
This card is sweet.
Yeah,
Think so?
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Especially in modern, like
In modern, okay, but even then, a 3/3 flying prowess, is that even like?
yeah, dude. You
Yeah.
play on turn 2. You play Bobble into this.
Well, that Bobble doesn't do anything.
Sorry,
Oh yeah, it's not instant or sorcery.
It's got to be
yeah.
Manamorphose.
I'm dumb, but yeah, it's still Metamorphose or something.
Yeah.
Or like even on turn 3, you like
I mean, I don't think it's good in Modern, but I think it could be good in Standard.
But how? What are you playing to make this worth it?
well, it'd be a mono blue thing, right?
Throw a Spiral, whatever.
The Ghost Spiral, well, but then
Yeah.
you can't cast it.
On turn 2 or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying it's a 3 mana, it's a 2 mana, 3/3 flying prowess, scry 2. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah. Opt.
Yeah, but it's not actually 2 mana because you have to play something before.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so if you just
okay,
like
so it's
opt,
3 mana. But would you play it? Okay, let me ask this: would you play it for 3 mana?
Yes, but only if I can play it on turn 3. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I agree.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I think
Because
this card's
you're never going to play this on turn 2 in standard.
no, never. Unless there's something.
Are you playing this on turn 3 in standard in any way?
Yeah, you opt.
Okay, yeah, you can play it on turn 3 in standard with opt. That's true.
And crash through, defiant strike. I mean, like if I think if you're playing this card, you're also playing cards like that, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
yeah, there could be like a red-blue prowess.
It would need like a prowess shell, maybe with that blue-red flying creature, the one that gets
Yeah,
a
the
plus
dragon
1/+1.
sprite.
Yeah,
Well-
dragon sprite.
Well, and there's also like for a bit, there's still going to be Arclight Phoenix. I mean, like
That's
that
true.
sort of thing. I see like
Yeah.
I see where something could come together.
Okay, that's fair.
So
But probably not, though, right?
probably not. No, but I still think the card is sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely a sweet card at face value.
Yeah, it probably
You
tastes
just-
like cardboard. Okay.
Weird.
So Gabe doesn't think the card's very good, apparently. All right. The next one is going to be the Sublime Epiphany, the very, very cryptic command. It's 2 blue and 4 generic mana, an instant that says choose one or more. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, and target player draws a card.
So you can choose all of those.
Right. That's pretty nuts, I think.
Yeah. It's
I
pretty
think it
good.
does enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, again, it would most likely be blue-white that plays this card.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I could see this being played on like something like, well, in
I
some
can
kind of mid-range deck.
Like
yeah,
a
it could be
green-
played in like Ant or Sultai. But
Yeah, or Sultai. Because like it would be really sweet if you like countered a spell, then bounced something, then created a copy of a creature you control and drew a card. That's insane.
those are all options on the card, dude. That's
No,
what it does.
I didn't say counter target activated or triggered ability, did I?
It's true. What if they hold priority and cast a spell and then crack an Evolving Wilds?
There you go. There you go, dude.
Dude.
Ooh. I don't know. I like this card. I think this card's sweet. I could see it as like a 1 of or a 2 of in like a blue mid-range deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's a little too expensive for like an actual straight-up control deck, I think. But it could still see play in that too.
It just depends if control gets better creatures. Like if you're copying like a Shark Typhoon token, this is probably not good enough. But if you're copying like an actual card,
Yeah. But that'd still be pretty cool. Just copy a Shark Deck token.
sure.
Yeah.
But the one I saw a lot about, like the hype, was Torrential Gear Hulk,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because you get the Gear Hulk and then copy a Gear Hulk and copy another thing.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta play 12 mana worth of spells to do that, but
No, it's just one. I mean, you cast this, I guess, at some point, and then you cast a Gear Hulk.
so 12 mana worth of spells.
Eh.
Unless you can like discard this, that'd be cool. But yeah, this card is. I mean, the best thing that I see this card being played as is just a value card for blue mid range decks like Bant or Sultai, which are doing very well right now. So
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can see play. The problem is there's so many ways to do that.
yeah,
It's just going to be like, is this better than Casualties of War? Is this better than Crisis
Right.
for 4? Whatever.
right,
So
probably
see.
not. Yeah,
All right. And then the last blue rare is going to be Teferi's Ageless Insight. And it's going to be 2 blue and 2 colorless. A legendary enchantment that says if you draw a card except for the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead.
this is the worst card I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, cool.
I don't think it's the worst card I've ever seen, but it's definitely not good by any means. I don't think this card's ever going to see any play.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do anything when you enter the battlefield, and like
If
that's
you're
just not-
winning, you're even more winning.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome.
On
So,
the next,
well, do you want to talk about just the rares or do you want to talk about some uncommons?
we can
too?
talk about some uncommons too.
All right. So I got a few. I know let me talk about.
There's a few blue ones that are hype that are pretty hyped up right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I know we talked about some of the prowess cards. I think like this would be one that you could possibly play with maybe I'm just just in case.
I don't think so.
Also, riddle form. Just
Riddle form to maybe see play. I didn't see what the first one was that you put on the screen.
Jeskai Elder.
Oh no, the card.
This is a reprint. It was never good before. It's not powerful enough.
Yeah. Just
but riddle form could definitely see play.
Yeah. Another card.
Miscast is another interesting one.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
That's the one we got to get to.
I'm getting there. Another one that I think is kind of interesting is Teferi's tutelage. Whenever you draw a card, your target opponent mills 2 cards. If you expansion for 40, like
this is another reprint, right?
Yeah.
No. The other one was Sphinx's tutelage.
Oh, my
okay.
bad. Different tutelage.
You're right.
But the Sphinx's tutelage was if you mill 2 cards of the same color, you mill 2 more. Yeah. I think
Sphinx's tutelage saw play.
Yeah, it won a GP, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean,
this could be like a really gross mirror breaker. The only thing is, every single time I see a card that's an enchantment or anything like that, I just think of back to Teferi. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, this is Teferi's tutelage, so if he's learning, why is he going to bounce it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Jeez.
But do we talk about what the card does?
Oh, yeah, sure. So whenever it enters the battlefield, it draws a card, then you discard a card. And whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards.
Yeah, and it's a 3-mana enchantment for 1 blue and 2 colorless.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should have said all that, huh?
Yeah.
This card is going to be absurd and limited.
For sure.
Like, somehow get a few card draw spells or multiple copies of this. You're just like, I win.
The best part about this card is that and the best part about this card is that it actually does something when it enters the battlefield, too.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of cards like that they just do the mill part and not the other part, you know?
Yeah. I think that's like the check mark, right? Is like, does it enter the battlefield and do something? Because if it just says whenever you draw a card, you mill 2 cards, it's not worth it.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. So going with that card, I think this card is going to be super exciting. Frantic Inventory. It's 1 blue mana, 1 colorless, an instant that says draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named Frantic Inventory in your graveyard.
Do you like this card, Gabe?
No.
Really?
Not in constructed.
Really?
No.
What about in like a Phoenix deck?
I mean, maybe. I think it's just power creep, man. There's just so many better ways to spend your mana than doing this now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, maybe if you're like super hard control, I mean, it's going to be great. I guess it's a strict upgrade in Pauper because it doesn't count your opponent's copies or something. But
right.
That's true. It is a strict upgrade in Pauper.
The thing with accumulated knowledge is that like you're playing chicken, right? Like who gets to draw 2 cards first?
Yeah.
Right.
So.
But the thing about this card, though, I think that like if it was going to see play in a Phoenix Shell with like Goblin Electromancer and where you just want to cast spells and draw cards and cast more spells to do more stuff, like in the Phoenix the Prowess card that we were just looking at that costs 3 less when you cast an instant or sorcery.
Yeah.
Like that's the like this is the kind of that's kind of deck this card would go into.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just think that until Teferi and Narset both rotate, those kind of decks are very, very fringe.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, those cards are ridiculous cards that have warped formats that are not standard. So
for sure.
Here's a miscast. It's 1 blue and it's an instant that says counter instant or sorcery spell unless its controller plays 3. I think it's okay. I think it's going to be a sideboard card personally. How do you guys feel?
I just don't think there's a place for it right now in standard. If anything, it'll see play on like Modern or Pioneer.
Yeah,
maybe. But in standard, it's like you don't want to counter instant sources. You want to counter Teferi. You want to counter Narset. You know what I mean?
You're right. You want Spell Pierce instead of
No, you want the counter target spell. It's blue and it costs 2
Mystical
less.
Dispute.
Mystical Dispute. That's what you want.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have that, but
I think though, if there is going to be a deck that's going to play this card, it's going to be the same kind of like red blue prowess kind of tempo strategy.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, yeah, that's true. That's true. This would be a good card for that deck.
Yeah. So you're just like playing one or 2 threats and hoping that you don't get wrath, and when you do get wrath, you have a 1 mana leak or something.
Because that's the best card you're countering, right? Is the Wrath, the Shadow the Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, unless that giant 6 mana cryptic command starts seeing play.
I mean, I think people are going to try it, and there's enough cards. I think Blue Red Prowess can try to do something. I don't think it'll work until Teferi and Narset rotate, but people will try it.
Right. Yeah.
Are there any cards that you guys wanted to look at? I know that we're trying to.
That were blue, that were uncommon or common?
Yeah.
No, I think we pretty much covered them all.
I think we should at some point at least acknowledge the shrines.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna do the shrines and like its own thing.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, as far as blue cards, I mean the rest are just pretty basic. And
the reason why you said it like that, I think at Ship Point we should acknowledge shrines because you don't think the shrines are good.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But
we will give them their spotlight.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to try and draft 10 of these and see if I can do something.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, okay, let's move on to the black cards.